The most important concept utilized in the journey of exploration of our creativity and key to the journey was the creativity perspective. The creativity perspective is a perspective where creativity, our creativity, and the creativity of others is held sacred. So what does it mean to say our creativity and the creativity of others is held sacred? It is simply to look at where and why one is not allowed to explore and pursue possible options. It is to look at where one is free and not free to explore. Simply said, it's about answering the question, why is this way versus any other way for a given situation? The reason why one may not be allowed to explore options in a given situation can be varied, but the creativity perspective boils down to exploring that why and pulling the string to get to the root cause of why that exists, and one is unable to explore a particular option. Holding our creativity sacred can be seen in 4 ways. One way our creativity is held sacred is to give it the freedom to explore options. That is, no limits, no boundaries on our exploration. It is much like the spontaneous and innocent childlike play of a very young child to discover itself and the world in which it inhabits before mind steps in or others step in with their judgments. The second way our creativity is held sacred is to remove the obstacles or reasons which prevent an exploration in a given direction or provide a way to work around the obstacles or reason preventing the exploration. Often working around the obstacle is about addressing perceived hazards in the direction one thinks or feels they must explore for whatever reason they have. The third way our creativity is held sacred is to not to curtail or block the freedom of exploration and not place obstacles, barriers, or even thoughts that inhibit our creativity. The fourth way is to look to empower and expand the creativity available to oneself or another. Here it's not about giving freedom, removing obstacles, or curtailing the freedom of exploration. Here it's about providing the understanding or circumstances which in some way expands the individual's creativity. Analogous, it's like an individual is confined to 2 dimensions. They have the freedom to explore the whole 2 dimensions and are free to face the obstacles they encounter in 2 dimensions. However, if you point out to them there is a 3rd dimension, all of a sudden their creative options infinitely expands in a completely new direction, no longer bound by 2 dimensions. The creativity perspective is a perspective from which to view life that empowers our creative ability. To hold creativity sacred, our own creativity or that of another, is to protect and address our true creative needs. All else is seen malleable and can be changed to protect and address those needs. The creativity perspective looks to see what serves or does not serve our creativity and look to create a life worth living. Within the creativity perspective, we look for a way to view creation where our creativity is unbounded and is free to unfold true to itself. Of course, each of us will have to spend some time exploring what our creativity looks like and how it desires to express itself, for its expression will be different for each individual, for we each are uniquely, infinitely creative beings. The recommendation for your life is to embrace an optimum creativity perspective for yourself in a way that works for you. Now, one may say, what about the hazards or dangers that may exist? The creativity perspective is not about denying the existence of hazards or dangers. Rather, it is about addressing hazards and the dangers as understood and implement protective measures and safety measures as understood. Granted, in a truly creative endeavor where the mind has not been before, there may be unseen hazards. So it is prudent to proceed slowly in an aware and awake manner. Every advancement made by humanity has had to face the possibility of unknown hazards. One thing relative to potential hazards is the need to have the freedom to explore all possible options within one's creative imagination and understand why one cannot or can or cannot be possible. There may be rules and conditions placed on us as human beings that bias the way we think. The challenge is to get past the limitations of our thinking to see what is possible, then eliminate possibilities only after they're truly explored. This means not judging any possibility until it is explored. Here again, it's about holding our creativity sacred, and that means the freedom to explore options. Many options may be rejected for whatever the reason may be, but the key here is to be able to explore options. Often people are afraid to explore options for fear of being wrong or judged unsuccessful. However, in a truly creative endeavor, there are no mistakes. There are only learning experience as to what does and does not work under a given set of conditions. Only in the exploration do we come to understand what is and is not possible. If we limit our exploration before we try, we never know what is possible. Although one can live their life from the creativity perspective, most will find it beneficial to adopt the creativity perspective to assist them in solving the problem they face. Then, when they find an acceptable solution, they return to their normal perspective and then live their life from that normal perspective. However, if you wish to go beyond the world in which you find yourself, you may want to consider what living with a creativity perspective will provide you.